What's up, YouTube? Today is Sunday, March the 9th, 2025. Hope y'all doing well out there. As today, matter of fact, time just changed. So we got an extra hour of daylight for the time being. Also, today is the day that I start my 72-hour fast. So if there's anybody interested in joining me on this fast, I don't care if you do 24 hours, 48, 72, or even more than that. I'm gonna start my fast today somewhere between 5 and 6 p.m. And I won't eat again till Wednesday, the same time I stop eating today, to give me the full 72 hours. So if you wanna join me in this for the whole thing or part of it, say something about it in the comments, man. We doing this fast for reasons for our physical body as well as our spiritual body. So yeah, man, let's talk about it. And like I said, if you wish to join me, leave me a comment and we'll get to it. Now, the purpose of this video is, as you can see, I do these videos in front of my book collection, in front of my library, because it's one of my most prized possessions. And it's not all of it, I want to say that too. It's so many quotes about books, like a house without, a room without books is like a house without windows, or a room without books is like a body without a soul. And they say if you got a bunch of TVs, you're broke, but if you got a bunch of books, you're rich or whatever, or you're wealthy. And it's because of the wealth of information and knowledge that you can extract from these books. But people always ask me, like, what's your favorite book? Or what book do you recommend? And I always tell people, well, first of all, for a recommendation, I would ask what part of your journey that you on. Like, are you on a health journey? Are you on a spiritual journey? Are you into occultism? Are you a conspiracy person? Are you into black liberation? Are you into history? Like, what are you into? Because I probably got a book, self-help, whatever it is, on every kind of subject or topic that you can think about. But as it relates to my personal favorite, I'm gonna say hands down, I gotta go with the Holy Qu'ran. This book, of course, we all know, is the Islamic spiritual book. It's the Islamic holy book. It's the book, the foundation book of the Muslims. So a lot of people run from this book because it's not coming from a place of you don't know about it. A lot of people weren't raised to know anything about Islam, and in fact, we were often raised to shun Islam. And if you grew up in a Christian church, we didn't know nothing about Islam. All we knew about was the Bible and Christianity. And if you even started to talk about Islam, I've had ministers, preachers, pastors, hey, what you reading that? What you reading the Quran? What's that all about? And so my introduction to the Quran, how it came to me, it always has a spiritual significance, because I know that God placed me in a certain place so that the only thing that would jump out would be the Quran. I've had people that were Muslims I knew in real life that I never was intrigued to read the Quran. But I want to say this is why it's my favorite book. Once I started reading this book, I didn't read this book as a Muslim. I started reading it because, again, I felt God put it around me for me to pick it up. And as I started reading it, it became so fulfilling to my spirit. I began to have my spirit attuned to truth that I only know that God could send to me through divine revelations, which I got through this book. It was a spiritual attunement. My spiritual body started to be fulfilled. As my brother DL would say, my spirit man began to expand, and my consciousness and my love for God and and my path, it began to get me back on the straight path where I had began to go astray. And I always tell people that people don't even read the Bible for real, for real. So it's kind of hard to tell somebody to read the Quran if they don't even read the book that they are knowledgeable about. If they don't read that consistently, then it's not going to be, you're not going to easily talk them into the Quran. Like I say, it almost has to be some type of divine experience to get somebody to go get it, or they have to really be seeking on their spiritual journey to just delve off into this book. But once I did, and I didn't even get halfway through it, and I was like, wait a minute, I think I'm a Muslim. I think this is where I need to be. And when I started reading it, I always tell people this. It has references back to the Bible. So it's not talking against the Bible. It has the same stories that are inside of the Bible, except they're much more detailed, which give you a greater understanding. And again, the revelations, once your heart is open, it teaches you to open your heart. And it teaches you the danger of a hardened heart. It teaches you the danger of rejecting faith. When faith comes to you in any form or fashion and you reject it, it teaches you that takes you further and further away from God, thus further and further away from the truth. I also tell people my favorite story of all time that I have read is inside of this Holy Quran, and that is the story of Joseph. The story of Joseph inside of this book, it goes so much more deeper than the Bible does when it tells about his story, from the dreams he had, from the brothers he had, from the way he was treated by his brothers, from him being imprisoned, from him coming out of prison, from him being tempted by the king's wife. Oh man. And his whole redemption story. So it's so many different stories inside of just the story of Joseph that pulls out so much wisdom that you can apply to your real life. So that's my favorite story of all time, the story of Joseph, and so many different more stories in this book that draws you nearer to God, that feeds your spirit. So, and the version that I was suggested to read was the translation by Abdullah Yusuf Ali. So if anyone is wanting to explore their spirituality, if anyone is wanting to be on a path of divine revelation, of divine inspiration, of just higher learning and to connect yourself with God, I always suggest the Quran. It's not about being a Muslim. It's not about saying that you are your religion is Islam now. No, get it, go into it with the open heart and allow God to lead you and see where you end up at. And for me, I'm so glad that I picked this book up. Like I say, once I was reading somebody else's, and as soon as I got the opportunity, I went and got my own. And I'm bringing this up now because it's been several times in my life I've gotten off of my path, and I always run back to the Quran. And every time I run back to it, it's like God takes me to a higher level. Like it's like different chambers are opened up, different doors that have been locked inside of my mind and my heart and my reality are opened up every time. You're not gonna get the same thing out of it. Just like when you watch a movie. You watch that movie 3-4 times, you're like, man, I didn't even remember that, or I didn't even see that part. Or where you are in your journey, you have grown, you have gained more experience, and now something resonates with you that didn't resonate before. And again, you're opened up. So I would encourage anybody, man, to go and get them a Quran. And I started back reading my Quran October of 2023. It was one of those times when I was down bad. I was like, my spirit man was low. I had been gone astray. I was depressed. I was battling addiction. I was not my true self, and I knew I wasn't the person that that would be inside of the kingdom of God, or that would be able to stand tall inside of the kingdom. And so I started reading this October 23, just a little bit a day, just a couple of surahs, chapters, whatever you want to call them, a day. And I just finished in totality reading it again Friday. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to immediately open it up and start to reread it again. And I'm going to take notes. Even though I took notes last time, I stopped halfway through with my notes. This time I'm going to go ahead and start from the beginning, take notes, so that I'll be able to come and dialogue with you about what God is showing me. And I'm telling you, same thing He'll show you if you just give that time, put that time in to want to grow nearer to God. So again, out of all these books, not to mention my book, my very first book, The Universe is Mental, the link will be in the description of this video. Go pick that up because, again, the title is The Universe is Mental, a guide to effectively mastering your mind. I just dropped jewels in there about how I was able to train my mind, retrain my mind, and begin to change my reality to what it is now, to be able to get in front of this camera, man, and talk my talk. So of all these books back here, Holy Qu'ran is my favorite. And the Bible is right up there too because of the wisdom of God that's inside of it. I think our journeys should begin and end with seeking the wisdom of God. All right, y'all. Hope y'all have a blessed Sunday. Let's get this fast going, man. I'm out of here.